Hey everyone, and welcome! Today we're jumping into this amazing guide, Databases Made Simple for Kids. And trust me, this isn't going to be like some boring textbook. We're about to go on an adventure to pull back the curtain on the digital magic that powers pretty much everything you use every day. Let's get started! I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? How does your favorite game remember your high score or every single item you've collected? Or how does a huge library with thousands and thousands of books find the exact one you want in like 2 seconds? It totally feels like magic, right? But the secret is something anyone can understand. And here it is, the big secret. It's all thanks to something called a database. The best way to picture it is like a perfectly organized digital treasure chest. Or maybe a super smart filing cabinet. Its whole job is to store tons of information in a really neat way so you can find anything you need instantly. And the craziest part? These digital treasure chests are literally everywhere. They're the silent heroes working behind the scenes in your school's library system, in your video game inventory, on your social media page, and even in the apps you use to stream movies. They're the secret sauce that makes our digital world work. Okay, so now we know what a database is. The next stage of our adventure is to become data detectives. We're going to look at the actual blueprints the people use to organize all this information. This is where we learn to think like a real designer. So the guide breaks it down into 2 main types of blueprints. On one side, you have relational databases. Think of these like super neat and tidy spreadsheets with organized tables. Everything has its place. On the other side, you have no SQL databases. These are more like a flexible scrapbook, perfect for all sorts of information that doesn't really fit into neat boxes. We're going to start with the super organized kind first. All right, let's talk about those structured databases. They're built with just 3 simple things, like Lego blocks. First, you have tables. A table is just a grid that holds one type of data, like a list of students. Then, each row in that table is all the information for one single student. And finally, each column is one specific piece of info, like the student's name or their age. And that's pretty much it. Tables, rows, and columns. But here's the thing. Just storing data in neat little tables isn't the whole story. The real superpower, the part that makes these databases so incredible, is how they can connect different tables to each other. They create this whole web of information where everything is linked together. So, for example, check this out. Here's a really simple, not scary at all table for students. See, we've got a unique ID for each student, their name, and their grade. It's all clean and organized. But what about the classes they're taking? Well, for that, we're going to need another table. And here it is, another table, this time for classes. It's got a unique ID for each class, the name of the class, and the teacher. So now we have 2 separate organized lists. But how do we know which student is in which class? This is where the magic really happens. We use these special little connectors called keys. You can think of them like magic bridges that link a student in one table to a class in the other table. This is how we build that amazing web of information. So there are 2 types of these magic keys. First, you have a primary key. That's the unique ID for a record in its own table. So the student ID in the student's table is a primary key. Then you have the foreign key. That's the bridge. It's basically a copy of a primary key from one table that you put in another table to create that link. We could have a new table called enrollments that just uses student IDs and class IDs to show exactly who is taking what class. That's how it all connects. Okay, so we've got our neat, organized, and connected tables. But how do we actually, talk to the database? How do we ask it questions or add new students? Well, we do that with a special language. And don't worry, it's not scary at all. It's more like learning a few magic spells. This special language is called SQL, which is short for Structured Query Language. It's really just a set of commands you use to tell the database exactly what you want it to do. Learning a little bit of SQL makes you the wizard who's in control of all the information. And the basic spells are super easy to remember. Create table lets you, create a table. Select is how you find information. Insert is for adding new data. Update is for changing it. And delete gets rid of it. With just these 5 commands, you can do almost anything you need to with a database. So all those commands really let us do 4 main things. We can add new data, we can read the data that's there, we can update it, and we can delete it. Programmers have a nickname for this, CRUD, which stands for create, read, update, and delete. It's basically what all database apps are doing, all the time. Okay, now this is where the adventure gets really, really cool. We've become detectives for those structured relational databases. But remember that flexible scrapbook we talked about? Those are the NoSQL databases, and they're another amazing tool for creators. Instead of rigid tables, they might use flexible documents. Like imagine a user profile where one person lists their favorite movie, but another lists three. Or a super simple key value store, which is kind of like a dictionary. They are perfect for data that changes a lot or just doesn't fit into neat rows and columns. Knowing which tool to use is a big part of it, but no matter what kind of database you build, this guide teaches you how to build a good one. That means learning how to organize your data in a way that makes sense, using clear names, and keeping everything consistent and accurate. And you're not just going to be reading about this stuff. No way. The best part is that you get to take all these new skills and actually apply them to build your own fun, practical projects. This is when it all really starts to click. For instance, you'll get to build a relational database to manage an entire library. How cool is that? You'll create tables for books, authors, and people checking them out, and use your SQL skills to track everything. Next up, you can build a database just for your own personal movie collection. You'll be able to track all the titles, directors, what genre they are, and you can even give them your own ratings. It's the perfect way to use what you learned for a fun hobby. And of course, a project I know so many of us can relate to, you'll get to design a database to manage your video game inventory. You can keep track of all your games, what platform they're on, and whether or not you've beaten them yet. And the guide doesn't just end there. It really sets you up for your own continuing adventure. It gives you a glossary of all the key terms, links to kid-friendly tools you can try out, and, this is really important, tips for how to handle data safely and responsibly. I just want to leave you with this amazing message from the guide. Learning about databases isn't just a technical thing, it's a creative skill. It actually gives you the power to organize information and bring your own digital ideas to life. So, here's the big question. Are you ready to unlock the secrets of the digital world and start building your own amazing things? Because this knowledge gives you the power to do just that.